worry, you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy.
Well. Welcome back, everybody, to the Life Lessons. My name is Dana, and I have a very, very special guest today, my dear friend, Chantal. Chantal, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank
How
you,
are
Dana.
you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. We had a nice song in the introduction called Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Be happy.
And
correct.
That's our big message today. So thanks for coming, everybody.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. That's it. Don't worry, be happy. I want to say hello to everybody in the audience.
Danielle. She is always there, all the time.
So
Bienvenue,
good.
Danielle.
Yes. And the other person, hello. Thank you for joining us. And make sure to send some love to my guest Chantal, and also ask her lots of questions. So before we get started, everybody, I have a beautiful introduction so you get to know my special guest a little bit more. Are you ready, Chantal?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, let's go. Chantal Beaulieu has coached hundreds of men and women, business owners, consultants, managers, professional speakers, and media personality. She guides her client in creating a more fulfilling, meaningful, and productive life. She has been sharing her knowledge and experience by providing one-on-one coaching, insightful presentations, and workshops. Chantal has interviewed on the radio, television, social media platform, and for her expertise as a coach, speaker, and author. She is fluent in English and French and has a bachelor's degree in consumer studies from Laval University. She is also a creator and host of Life Mindfulness Coaching with Chantal on Facebook. She is the author of The Art of Creating a Meaningful Life One Day at a Time. And Chantal is a mother of two and has been my wonderful friend for over 20 years. And I'm so lucky to have you as a friend and as my special guest today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dana. Yes, 20 years. Time goes by very fast. Et c'est moi. C'est quoi? Mon sel.
C'est mon sel. Okay.
Awesome. Mon sel. Okay. I also want to do a shout out to Hélène, a lady from Quebec. She sent me a messenger this morning saying, I don't think I'll be able to make it live. And I'm like, it's not a problem. There will be a replay afterwards. I don't know how it works. Dana will figure it out. And she'll just send it. You'll be able to watch it. So hello, Hélène from Quebec.
Shout out to Hélène from Quebec. Awesome. So Chantal, we'll get started with some questions. My first one for you was, what have you been up to since our last show? So when did we do our last show? In November?
December, just before Christmas. Okay. Beginning of December, I think it was.
Yes.
So what have I been doing since then? Oh, yes. I've been doing some writing. And I just learned on Wednesday that I'm part of an anthology, which I didn't even know what the word meant like a year ago. So it's short stories and poems. So we're a group of writers that we've been together writing for a while. Some have been writing for like 15, 20 years or more as a group. And so we have our stories have been submitted, and it's coming out supposedly on Monday. So it's a book. So author of another book, but this time I'm not by myself. We're a whole bunch. It looks something like this.
Yes.
That's
cover. A forest?
Yeah, and it looks exactly like one of the places where I love walking. It just looks, so I'm like, oh my gosh, couldn't be any better. So it's Journey Through Words, a collection of short stories and poems from the fertile minds of the Write On writers. So we are from Alberta.
Yes.
And a bunch of crazy people. And because we can't meet no more for the last year we've been writing online, and I have so much fun. And as you know, Dana, I always liked I send you my story afterwards, and I like your comments, and that's just like, it's just wonderful. And I know there's some authors that give me comments every week. And shout out to David who does that, and he's just amazing. I mean, the writers in there are, the quality is amazing. The other things I've been doing is a lot of research, always implementing the stuff that I learn. And now it's going to be 2 years that I've been doing intermittent fast daily. So that means, for me, the intermittent fast means I don't eat for 16 hours, and then I eat again the next day, don't eat for 16 hours. And there's a whole bunch of benefits. So, hi, Dana Richard. There's
Jimmy.
a whole bunch of, yeah, there's a whole bunch of benefit in intermittent fast. And for me, it gives my body time to, as opposed to digesting, it heals itself. So our bodies are very, very wise. And if we're under a lot of stress or whatever, we can talk about that later on. Intermittent fast, I mean, you don't have to be a maniac, but just moving towards that, giving your body more time to heal itself, as opposed to just digesting all the time, eating late at night. And it works for miracles. And it also has a benefit that other people may or may not know. It helps with the weight. So most people will release weight in the process. So,
have you released lots of weight, or
yeah,
okay,
yeah. I've released a lot of weight. I've been doing some of that kind of stuff before, but now I'm pushing myself even more than just the intermittent fast. Like, I'm a total maniac, so we could talk about that too. But yeah, in total, it's I'd say as of today, in the last 6 years, 50 pounds.
That's amazing.
And it's not going back up. It's just maintaining, and maybe
And
1
you're
pound
feeling
less.
good. You're feeling great.
The energy goes up. It's more clarity of mind. It's amazing. It's very, very positive. The other things I've been doing, season for planting's coming up, so I've been I got my little tomato plants, and I got a little basil, and I got all that stuff started. And yeah, so I've been up to a few interesting things, but mainly doing less of what's not important and more of what is important.
That's wonderful. So you've been a busy girl. So also, everybody at home, Chantal was a guest on my show before, as I mentioned, and congratulations, because our last show got over 1,500 views just on the YouTube one. Okay, so so people are resonating with your guidance and how to deal with stress, self-care in life. So do you have any other tips and exercise that could help us navigate 2021?
Let's see, tips, what I would suggest. Okay, one thing that works for me and I can recommend to people is maybe simplifying our lives. That means, as opposed to doing more, being more busy, buying more stuff, I have shied away from that. I'm simplifying my life more and more, meaning I'm doing less of what's not important. Hi, happy to see you, Loretta. So I'm doing less of what's not important and doing more of what is important to me. So if we can, we can let go of stuff that we don't want to hold on to physically, but there's also activities, there's the thoughts that we have in our mind, letting go of things that we don't resonate with no more, and moving towards something that we resonate more towards, that can make a big difference.
So focusing your attention to where you want to go. And
yes, and if you're not sure where you want to go, it's like, what feels good as opposed to what is draining my energy. That could be a good marker as well. What makes me feel good? Also, sometimes we get caught up in, especially when we're very stressed, we think about stuff that is not productive. So how about we imagine that a higher part of us, something that's intelligent, it's like a blue sky, okay? And then the clouds that come in, the blue sky is just there. But the clouds, they go by. The blue sky doesn't say, hey, no clouds, like you're not allowed here. No. The blue cloud, this, it just goes by, it just goes by, it just goes by. So it's just to be there. And when there's some negative thoughts or when there's some things that bother us, just look at them and let them go. Look at them and let them go, as opposed to fretting and giving it energy and holding on to it. We don't need to hold on to it. Okay, so we just let it go. And then when there's some negative feelings that come into us, it's okay to feel them, and then we just let them go. It's like a bowl, like water running down. It just runs down. It just runs down. So it makes a difference, as opposed to holding on to something that is just going to drain us. It's not going to help. And if we don't feel good, it's hard to be there for other people as well. So
absolutely. So letting go. And I also, if I can add a quick trick I've learned, is when you make the right decision or a good decision, you'll feel a sense of relief, like,
okay,
yes. So you'll know you do it. And if you still are stressed after making a decision, then that might not be the right
there's something
decision in your life.
that's still off.
Something's off. But if you feel the peace, then that was
so our body is so wise. It's just so wise. It tells us stuff, but we don't listen to it. And it's like, instead, we just get more busy, or we do more things, or we distract ourselves. And the body's just trying to say, no, there's something here that's not doing well. We have to look into it. And that's a gift. Sometimes we don't see it as a gift, but in the long run, we realize that is a gift. That is a total gift. Absolutely.
Yeah. And like Loretta said, right now we have a little bit more time given to us to go within, right? And do some inner work.
Absolutely.
Right?
To go within. Some of the other stuff that we can talk right now, we can talk a little bit later on, is breath work.
Yes,
meditating. It makes such a difference. And like, let's say for meditation, people are saying, well, I don't know how to meditate. I don't want to meditate. I can't stop the thoughts coming in. Well, I can't stop the thoughts from coming in either. They just come in. So it's the sky and the clouds just go by. So how do you meditate? Okay, well, we close our eyes and we just focus on our breath. And then let's do that for a second. Let's close our eyes.
Oh, we're doing it right now? Okay.
Let's do it right now.
Okay, everybody right? At home, join us, please.
Okay, yeah, unless you're driving. So you close your eyes and you just focus on your breath. You breathe in and out. You breathe in and out. And you just keep on doing that. And then a thought comes in, oh my gosh, what am I going to make for supper? And you just let it go. You breathe in and you breathe out. Oh my gosh, the kids are going to come home from school pretty soon and I haven't prepared anything. You just breathe it in and you breathe it out. And then you're going to think about, oh, what am I going to wear tomorrow for that outing or whatever, right? So thoughts come in and they come out. So you just breathe in and breathe out. And pay attention to your belly. Is your belly like all tight? If it's tight, that's probably because you're not breathing properly. So your belly, you just put your hands on it and you just release it and you let it go. And you breathe in and you breathe out. And now maybe we can slow down our breath even more. So we go in and out, but now we go in and hold it a little bit and out. Just do it longer and longer. So we can open our eyes now. So it's just little things like that. It's just to sit down, quiet our mind, and just be present. It doesn't have to be half an hour, an hour. I mean, some people can work up to that, but just a few minutes of just paying attention to our breath, putting our hands on our heart makes a big difference. And it's just slowing down the breath. Because when we're nervous, we tend to breathe faster and shallow. And when we're more relaxed,
I think you should do meditation deeper. Because as you were doing the exercise with your voice, I was like, like you have a nice voice for this. So you should do meditations. Eh?
Meditation I had done, I remember my first meditation recording for a friend. That was 35 years ago, I think it was. Moi, je ris trop. Danielle laughs too much. She just laughs, so she can't meditate, which is okay because I do yoga. But there's also laughing yoga. And for the people who's never done laughing yoga, I am the queen of laughing yoga. I am the queen. I will just start a laugh, and then people, it's contagious, and they laugh and they laugh and they laugh and they laugh. So it doesn't, you don't have to find something funny to laugh. You just start laughing, and then it's contagious. It's like hearing a little kid that laughs. It's so refreshing. It's so fun
Oh,
that it
I
puts a
love it.
smile on people's face, right? So the laughter is important. It's so important.
There's a lot of laughing between us too, hey?
Yeah, you and I, we laugh a lot. Danielle
Yeah,
laughs a lot,
Danielle. Oh, yeah.
so
It's,
actually
you know
people,
what?
yeah.
Honestly, sometimes we take life too seriously. We need
Oh,
more
I do that.
laughter,
I do
right?
that. Yeah, guilty.
So,
Guilty. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we all
Yep.
should laugh more, especially now when you don't feel like laughing. Try to laugh anyways. Find
Yeah.
something, you know.
Find anything. Don't just laugh for laughing. And
Yes.
it helps us. It gives us like a internal massage.
Oh,
Laughing.
yes.
Yes, it does.
Giggle
Giggle
yoga.
yoga.
We'll
Okay, I
try
don't know
that.
about
Thank
giggle
you,
yoga,
Loretta.
but I know about laughter yoga. Laughing
So,
yoga.
Chantal, summer is just around the corner. What do you recommend for people to do? What could help people?
Oh, well, for me, I go for walks every day,
Mm.
winter, summer, all the time, except maybe ice. So now's a good time to go. And what I've been doing since the end of March is it's like grounding, some will call it earthing or whatever. So I take my socks off, even if there's snow outside. I walk where there's no snow. I put my feet on the grass. And when the sun is higher a little bit, it's warmer. So what I do is that I put my feet on the grass
I
and
gotta show the picture as you talk about it. Can you?
okay.
Yeah. So talk about it, and then I'll show
So
everybody at home.
I ground myself. And do you have that picture?
Yeah.
And it's just, yes. Okay, so that was on the 30th or 31st of March of this year. And when I sent you
Wow.
that picture, you didn't think it was me. I'm like, yeah, that those are my feet. I'm on the ground. And then I stay there and I just connect with the ground, because if you look at people, the Aboriginal and the people that have the wisdom of the land, they knew and they know how to connect. They just know how
Yes.
to connect with the earth, and it's so powerful. It's amazing. It brings down the stress level. It just reconnects us. It's amazing. And the other things that I do that not everybody will be comfortable, like I'm in the field and then I connect and I do some some people it looks like tai chi, but it's not tai chi. So I do movements on the grass in the field, and so just to help me with my energy. Going for walks in nature. If you can come close to trees, even touching trees, what trees are healing. There's a sacredness, and if you don't have anybody to talk to, you can talk to the tree and say, "Tree, I need your help. Can you,
Hello.
take some of my load off? And then the tree can give you some stuff too. It can give you grounding,
Yes.
strength, flexibility, and in
Mm.
return, you can say, "Here, here's my anxiety. Here's my worries. Can you just alchemize it for me, please?" And I love dragonflies. I love butterflies. So actually, I touch them. They come in my hands. I sing to them. I'm just not a normal person. If you see me on my walk, you probably think that I'm a homeless person just walking around talking to herself. But I just connect with nature. And a lot of people don't believe me that animals come to me, but yeah, the insects, they come to me, and I have them in my hands, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh, I think it's
Uh,
great.
Car rides is another thing you can do in nature. If you live in the city, go for car rides. Uh,
Okay.
I do art. Well, I haven't done art for maybe over a
That's a
year.
beautiful painting.
Danielle is now the proud owner of this last one. I sent it to her,
I
and
heard she
she showed
framed it
me.
too.
She framed it as
Oh,
well at our favorite. She bought a frame at our favorite store, and
nice.
so now she has to bring up her insurance, because with all the art she's got,
Oh,
right? So she, she has, so that was in a something that I just start playing around with pastels a little bit, but I've always worked with oil, but now my favorite would be acrylic, I'd say. So yeah, those are
Is this pears or
It's
apple?
pears, apples, whatever you want to call it. Still life.
Okay.
It's just inventions,
Still
whatever it
life.
looks like. Yeah,
Okay.
it's realistic, but you can put in your imagination there if you want to as well. So
Beautiful.
writing, that's something that, like I said, there's the anthology and writing with the writing group and just writing stuff. Oh, I've been writing, I'll come back to that, but I've been writing longhand, is that how you say it? Letters by
Um,
hand, like,
les lettres attachées?
yeah, you're just writing.
Script?
Yeah, you write with a pen
Yeah.
as
Yes.
opposed to the computer. So I've
Okay.
been writing long letters to yourself, to my sister, to some friends of the family, and I write every day for, let's say, half an hour. Next day I write again. It's kind of like a little journal thing for 5, 6, 10 days, and then I just mail it. So those are little gifts that you can give people. It's a little bit of your time. You talk about all kinds of stuff. It's like it's so healing. And was a contest that was on. It's over a year ago.
Okay.
It was called I didn't even know what it was. It's not even 2 years ago. It was 6 sentence story. I think it's six. I'm not sure. Anyway, so you have to make a story in, let's say, 6 sentences, not 7 or 8 or 9, 6 sentences.
6. That's it.
Whole story, beginning to end. So I
Wow.
wrote one there, and it was in regards to my son. And they chose. That was one that was chosen. It was framed, and I
Mm.
think we had it in the newspaper. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's over a year and a half ago. So little things like that. You just sit down, you start writing. Have no idea what that was. Had no idea what an anthology was. Like, so I write, but I don't even note the things, and it's just like, okay. Anthology. What, I couldn't even pronounce the th, right? So
Yeah, yeah, and this actually is framed and is hanging in a public library too, right?
uh, it's a building, but I don't remember which building
Okay.
it's in.
That's
But
so
yeah,
cool.
it. Mhm.
That's so cool.
So little things that you can do, and the gardening. And actually, Loretta told me I was quite wise to do that. I buy organic lettuce, romaine. I cut them and I put them in water, and eventually I transfer them, and then they grow even faster. So I get lettuce that way. I yeah,
But
green
tomatoes are
onions.
your favorite, you were saying,
I
right?
love little tomato plants. Yeah, I like cherry tomatoes, but this year I'll probably just do the big tomatoes, and so it just feels so good to play in the dirt. And before I would
Mm.
wear gloves, like, oh, heck with the gloves. Let's put our hands in the dirt and just it's like being a kid again, and then you see your stuff just growing. Oh, it's a good feeling. It's such a good feeling. So if
Oh,
you live in the city and you have a windowsill, nothing
yes.
stops you. Seeds, or you can buy something from the greenhouse if you want. Then you just look at it grow, and it's so much fun. It's rewarding. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing some of those wonderful ideas. So everybody get busy next
Hmm.
summer and get connected
This
with
summer.
nature.
This summer.
This
Yeah.
summer, sorry. Yeah, this summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how can we find more happiness and peace in our lives?
Oh, I think it's being in the now. It's being present. It's laughing. It's not taking life so seriously. And I need to be reminded all the time, like, to not take life as seriously. Sometimes I will just be bogged down and still in my head. And so that's one thing that I know that I need to keep on working on, and just simplifying our lives and doing things that are more in line with what makes us feel good. I mean, okay, we can watch TV, binge on Netflix, but that's temporary. That's like distraction. But what about doing something that it makes us feel better, like they're being quiet. That's something that sometimes we can be afraid of, like just being quiet, being by ourselves, and like, I don't feel good, like, let's go do something. And but now that we can't do that as much, is like, what can we do? And reading a good book, nothing stops us from reading a good book. Some people will read on the computer. I prefer like the real books, like you can see it in the back. I love real books. So reading a good book, learning through books, we can also learn through the computer. Things like that can make a big difference. So happy, the laughing, I think, is a big one, and it's one that I need to work on. Absolutely.
Thank you. So just a quick comment from Loretta. It's cursive writing. There we
Cursive
go.
writing. Okay, yeah. But
Like
it's called
last time
long,
was disc golf. This time was cursive.
but it's longhand,
Long?
I think. Longhand.
Okay. So it's a
Yeah.
little different.
Yeah.
And then your sister says she loves tulips. So how about planting some tulips? She says that's her style. That's how she rolls.
Yeah.
So
And
why
then
not?
she says, that's little green onions. Yeah, I take
Yes.
that. I buy them, the organic ones, and then I snip them. And then the
Fait
base, I
repeat it.
put them
Okay.
in water, and then it shoots out again. So I've got some more. So
That's awesome.
yes.
Okay, so now we have a few more minutes left. Awesome. What would you recommend for people living in uncertainty? Oh yes, something happened today. So do you want to tell us about that?
Oh, well, it's if you're not certain, and like this morning I was going through some stuff and all that, like uncertainty. There we can distract ourselves, but maybe that's not always the best thing to do. And it's to try to get clarity and to not beat ourselves up, and to know that we are doing the best that we can. People around us, in some ways, even if it doesn't look like it, are trying to do the best that they can too. So when we know that, that already alleviates some of the struggles or whatever. We all are trying to do the best that we can to cut ourselves some slack. We don't have all the answers. Sometimes it's just things are uncertain. It could be scary. Slow down our breath, reconnect. If you can't go out in nature, just reconnect in, with yourself. Slow down your breath. But sometimes having clarity, so it could be you're with yourself, but sometimes when we're in our own minds, we're so close to ourselves that we can't really see the big picture. So if you have a trusted friend or a coach or somebody that you can talk with, makes a big difference, as opposed to just feeling that you're all alone, because we're not all alone. And sometimes when we feel all alone, we feel like giving up, and that's the last thing that we need to do, is give up, because that would hurt more people than anything else. So it's asking for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, and opening up to somebody that we trust, not necessarily everybody, but somebody that we really trust. It could even save a life. So
that's wonderful.
We're never ever alone. Never alone.
Yeah. So everybody in Alberta, today's a day where things are going back to a little bit more strict. So you're not alone. And please re-listen to the show, listen to Chantal's advice, and you'll get through it. Just keep going.
And the other thing is to never, or at least for short periods of time, do not give in to fear. Because if you give in to fear, then what happens is that it suppresses your energy, it suppresses your immune system, it just suppresses everything. And then when you're like that, you're not good for anybody. But if you're able to find peace in your heart, stuff that brings you joy, that will make such a difference. And do things that bring you joy: walking, laughing, painting, playing with the earth, writing a letter to yourself or to other people. So come chez nous. Okay. So yeah, we have to be happy, even though it doesn't feel like it. If we give in to fear, that energy feeds on to other things, and it's not going to help anybody, because we can feel, like I personally can feel a lot of stuff, and it gets quite intense. So if we can all remind ourselves to come from a place of joy as much as we can, and if there's fear, short periods of time, bring it back to joy, doing some stuff that we love, playing with kids. It just makes such a difference.
Okay, so wow, that was amazing, Chantal. Thank you so much. And one last bonus question, because I'm going to sneak one more in, even though we're out of time. Is there anything? What would you recommend for people to make this world a better place? Where can people start? They say, you know what, I want to roll up my sleeve and do my part. Do you have any suggestion on how
just simple things?
Be
kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Smile to others. If you're walking, smile, say hi, how are you doing? It makes such a difference. There's some people that on my walk, I'm like, hi, how are you doing? And being kind makes a difference because we don't know where people have been, where they are, and where they're going. So it's just being kind to ourselves as well, to be our own best friend as well. So if we're our own best friend, we can be a good friend for somebody else. If we don't like ourselves, we can't like other people. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others, compassionate, and smile. That makes such
Like
a difference.
This. Give us a nice smile. Everybody at home, smile at us. Let's see. Oh, okay. We can't see you, but we felt your presence, everybody. And thank you so much for participating. I have a couple more thank you from Danielle, Loretta, Jimmy, and everybody for coming. Everybody's watching the show afterward. This is awesome.
Humble.
Be humble. Yeah, that's a good advice.
Yeah.
Be humble. Yeah. Okay, okay. So that's it, everybody. We have to wrap it up. So I want to thank everyone for coming and watching the show. And if you have any questions for Chantal, please make sure to ask them in the comments section. And Chantal, after the show, she can have a look and respond. And I want to thank you, Chantal, for coming again and share all your wisdom. And
it's my pleasure. And
I just love having you.
It's been challenging this morning, so my energy is a little bit different, trying to get back up there to assist people. But, you know, I'm human as well. So there's some better days and some more challenging days. At least I got my hair done. So that makes me feel a little bit better. But, you know, be your own self. So if some days are not as good, it's okay. It's okay. And we're all human. We just hang in there. And please leave some comments. And if I can give you some other suggestions, it would be my pleasure.
Chantal's a wonderful life coach, and I recommend all of you to reach out if you want a little help and guidance. She's amazing. So thank you, Chantal. I love you, my sister, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Actually, stand by. I'm going to say thank you after the show, okay? So everybody, it's Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.